tag board has frozen on me.
Classic.
I had the tweets for all the All-NBA teams. I can't show them, but we're going to talk about if Donovan Mitchell got snubbed or not being on All-NBA second team.
Well, you want to read us the first team, the second team, and the third team, and then we'll break it down.
So real quick, NBA first team is Giannis, Luka, Joel Embiid, Shai, and Jason Tatum. Second team
when
is
he says
Jalen.
Shai, he means Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He says Shai every day when I ask him for the points. It is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He calls him Shai every time.
Shai is a 1990s R&B
Oh, I
group.
like that. That was a good group.
The sad part is I thought I got his first name down. And I was like, I'll just avoid
What
the
was
last
their
name.
What was their big hit?
If
I
Fall in love again, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's the most I will ever sing.
There it is. I
it.
like that, man.
That's
you get
it.
extra credit points. Let me
I'm taking
find.
Jason to the next karaoke I do.
Let me find out you were serenading people to that song.
Second
team is Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Donovan Mitchell.
Say that again.
Yeah, so close.
Jokic?
No. So say the whole thing. I was like, hold on.
Oh, sorry. Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Donovan Mitchell. Is that wrong?
So close. You're good. You're good. Next.
Right.
Yeah, the second team actually is better in real life than the first team.
We'll get to
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
I think, De'Aaron Fox, LeBron James, Damian Lillard, Julius Randle, and Sabonis is the last one. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
You guys can call me all you want.
just call him-
I'm giving up by the third team.
Just call him Domas. Just call him Domas.
Domas Sabonis, son of the other Sabonis. Arvydas, yes. Jason, I'll start with you. You don't have a vote in the second word, right?
I lost all that when I left the league.
I know Joe Varden did, and he voted Donovan Mitchell first team.
Yeah.
The only other two ballots I know specifically were Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo because they released it on their podcast. They both voted Mitchell first team. I'll say why they did it and what happened, but would you have put him?
Yeah,
first team?
I think we talked about it before the playoffs that I would have put him on my first team. I'd have bumped Luka to second team. It's very much a regular season award, and regular season results matter to me. So I thought Donovan. I know he didn't live up to expectations in the postseason, but for the regular season, I thought he was fantastic. And I agreed with all the other picks except I would have flip-flopped Luka and Donovan if I had a vote.
Yeah, I think I would have put Luka second team, given the fact that he didn't even make the playoffs in the regular season. Kyrie and him didn't really turn out to be much, and I thought Donovan Mitchell, if you can cut it out of your mind the playoffs and just be like, okay, that never happened. I think everybody would go into it thinking and understanding, oh, this dude is definitely first team All-NBA because of what he did. I mean, first of all, he had 71, back-to-back, like I think 3 or 4 games of 40 points or more. And the fact that I think, and this is another thing too that we got to take in consideration is this guy put up some of the best numbers of his career and playing with a team. He just got here in the summer. It wasn't like he had 2 or 3 years to play together. Like he played that well and mixed in with Darius Garland and did not have this is his first year doing it. So if you take all those things in consideration, I think he should have been first team All-NBA. But at the end of the day, I don't got a problem with it because you got to earn that. And for the Cavs and no one's going to give them any awards. I think Evan Mobley got robbed for 2 things. I think, Rookie of the Year as well as Defensive Player of the Year. However, until the Cavs get to a point where they can come out and earn the respect of everybody else, because like you said with Mark Price, people say that these Cavs are soft. And so they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt when it comes up to awards and those things. So maybe you use that as a flame to the fire, but I think he should have been first team.
When we did this topic before the playoffs started, do we think Donovan Mitchell will end up being a first-team All-NBA player? I said no. I thought he should be second team. I thought he was actually placed appropriately, but instead of Luka being on the first team, I had De'Aaron Fox on my first team.
Yeah.
And you got that right.
And Fox, the reason I had him slightly over Mitchell was the clutch stats. And when you look back, Fox won the NBA's Clutch Player of the Year award. I forget who they named. Was it the Robert Ory Clutch Player of the Year, whatever it was? But he led the league in clutch points in the last 5 minutes of the game. He got my first team nod. But we're not arguing Fox versus Mitchell here. This was Mitchell snubbed by Luka. And I went back and looked at the numbers, and I don't think he was. As much as this is a regular season award, and as much as it absolutely crushes me, kills me, hurts me, demoralizes me to give someone credit in a year when he missed the playoffs, in a league where 67% of the teams make the playoffs, he was better than Donovan Mitchell this year. Like, his team sucked. The rest of the team sucked. He averaged more points, more rebounds, more assists. He was equally as efficient. His usage rate was a little higher. They both were horrendous on defense. They didn't try. Neither one tried at all on defense. I know Mitchell's defensive stats are inflated by the fact he played on the best defensive team in the league with Mobley and Allen behind him, but Donovan Mitchell didn't really try on defense at all this year. And then I was like, oh, well, he had the 71-point game. Mitchell, you know what? That'll be the tiebreaker. Then I remember Luka had a 60-point, 21 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. And I was like, well, 71-point, almost triple-double, 60-point, 20. You're splitting hairs. Like, if you told me that he got it over Luka, I wouldn't be like, oh, my God, Luka was snubbed. But at the end of the day, Luka averaged more points, more rebounds, more assists on the equal level efficiency rating. And team record doesn't matter in this. It should. If it was up to me, it would, but it doesn't. So I think he's in the right spot. I think Fox should have been first team, but based on the Luka Mitchell thing, I don't really have an issue with it. I think he's rightfully placed second team.
I mean, Bull said it. Bull said Luka first team, Donovan second team, so he got it right.
He did. Bull actually called it right, yeah.
Well,
First time Bull's ever been right.
Well,
Bull.
at this point, this is the way it works. Luka's like grandfathered in. Like,
it's his fourth first-team All-NBA
like
selection. He's been in the league 5 years.
He's grandfathered in. Like, Jokic is, 2 MVP. You grandfathered in. It's like you can't go back now. So, like, right now, Evan Mobley is probably going to be on an all-defensive team all the time now, just because you made it that first time. You're the youngest player to ever do it. So now you kind of grandfathered in, and I don't have a problem with it. To me, man, it's just messed up. I knew this before, but dang, man, it's a difference. There's levels to it, bro. If you watch, even if you just watch the playoffs, it even diminishes these awards. Because if you ask me who the best player, I'd be arguing to tell you probably LeBron. I mean, who's the best? Who's the best? Kevin Durant. Like,
the fact that LeBron made third team at 38 years old is remarkable.
It's just 20. Well, he's the first player. LeBron's going to have so many records in the record book just because of longevity, and that's not a knock on him. It's just the fact that he's played for 20 years.
It's another claim.
It's
to
another.
greatness.
I think it's actually a benefit to him.
Absolutely.
He's in his 20th season and was just named one of the 15 best players in the league. And if he had played more games, he would have been on second or first team. Yeah. The only reason he's on third team is he missed 23 games this year, something like that.
Yeah.
That is the only reason he wasn't on the first or second team. What he's doing at age 38 in year 20 is effing ridiculous.
Yeah, it's different. Like, and so, I look, Mark said that, Mobley can do 16 or, get 16 and 10. And I love Mark Price, but if they want to go where they want to go at, like, their eggs are in that Evan Mobley basket. And that Evan Mobley basket has to be 23, 24, and that consistent 12.
Sorry to cut you off, but, like, where are those shots coming from if he's playing with Mitchell and Garland? Like, I hear you, and I agree with you. I just don't think that's possible with the current team construction.
Well,
I don't.
Well, they're not going to win then.
That's fair, too.
Well, I think the way that you do it is sort of the way that the Cavs with LeBron and Kyrie handled Kevin, of Kevin gets the first shot.
Every time.
And Ty made that, I think we talked about on the show during the season. Ty Lue made that sort of the rule. And everybody knew it was coming. It didn't matter because you're activating your bigs early and you're getting him that elbow touch and you're getting him involved, get him his first look, get him acclimated to the game. Kevin, there were games where Kevin had 8 shots in the first quarter and 4 the rest of the game. But you got him involved early. And that is how you get Evan involved early, is you make a point of emphasis, especially first possession down, first play down, the touch is going to 4.
Well, or, here's what I like to do. If the Cavs want to get to where they're going, I really believe that, like, I heard Draymond Green say something, and Draymond Green was talking about how, younger players that come in, they think about their own game, right? They think about what I need to do, how I need to do it. He said, but the philosophy with the Golden State Warriors is when young players like Jordan Poole or even other guys like that come in, or Wiggins, we preach, hey, this is where Clay liked the ball. Hey, this is where Steph like it on the pick and roll. What ways can I get it to him? How we going to push? These are the areas, right? And he said, for a lot of young players, it takes time to understand. Why would you do that? He said, because if you can get the ball to them in their spots that they like, that sets up the offense. Everything we do comes off of that. So that is a philosophy that the organization is preaching. So at some point, you have to sit down, and I would think it would be JB and whoever in the front office sitting down with Darius and Mitchell saying, look, this guy right here is the key. We ain't got no money to get nothing else. Ain't no savior coming. But we got a guy we think can turn into something special, but we got to change the way we play. We got to figure out a way to make it where if he's the primary focus of what we're trying to do, it'll make everybody's life different. And you'll get further along the way instead of having these inflated empty numbers. Because 28 for him and 23 for Darius Garland, I don't think that's moving the needle.
Well, Jason said this before, and we've kind of talked about this offline, and I wholeheartedly agree with this. The Cavs, as currently constructed, are at their best, can reach their highest potential if Donovan Mitchell isn't scoring 28, 29, 30 points a game. They are better if he is, in my opinion, have a higher potential if he's scoring 22, 23 points a game, and that 4.4 assists goes to 6.5 assists, 7 assists. And Darius Garland is, and they have three guys, Mobley averaging 20, Garland 21, Mitchell 22, Allen 16, and a more balanced attack. And then when push comes to shove and you need Donovan to go off, he can still go off. And I think you asked him, and I hope I'm not saying something that I shouldn't say here.
No, you're okay.
I think you asked him, hey, have you ever considered just punting on a game to make sure Mobley and Garland and Allen and those guys get involved in? And you said that's just not in his DNA.
Yeah, he said he doesn't think that's good leadership. Like he said, I try and win every game I play. Like I'm out to win every single game I play. And obviously I understand what he's saying, but I think it's more beneficial in the long run to stand in the corner one night and say, you guys figure it out.
Yeah.
Darius and Evan, you guys figure out how to get us over the line and how to win this game. I'm going to stand here if you need me, but I'm not going to have the ball in my hands. I'm not going to initiate. I want you guys to take the shots, run the actions, and see how this goes. And I think for the long-term betterment health of everyone involved, that's more beneficial. But Donovan disagrees with that and says, I'm going to win every game I play.
For every small market,
It's a blessing and a curse. His
Kind of.
competitiveness is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
for every small market team, I kind of go to the Spurs, right? Tim Duncan was the best player on that team for a long period of time, right?
13 years, he was the best player on that team.
But then at one point in time, he had to say Tony Parker is that guy. And then after he got to Tony Parker, what really extended their career was they got Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
And you look at those games they played against the Miami Heat, Jason. It was the Kawhi Leonard coming out party that really extended and was able to get the Spurs over the hump, because now they had a guy who was not just going to be a defensive guy. You had to guard Kawhi Leonard, and that really opened it up for people.
They really, in my opinion, started the small ball movement. In those finals, they put Kawhi at the 4.
And Duncan was, at that point, like 206 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in his pocket, playing center, and he could barely move, but he was Tim Duncan, so he got the benefit. You're right, though.
Yeah, I think the Spurs really started what we see, and I know the Warriors get a lot of credit with the death lineup and Draymond at the 5 and shooters all over the floor. But when the Spurs used Kawhi at the 4 in those finals, I remember thinking, like, wow, this feels like a new era is beginning.
You mentioned the Warriors, and I'm going to bring this back to LeBron real quick. Did you see the breakdown? Did you hear LeBron answer the question at the end of Game 4, not last night, Game 4, where the Lakers won, and he got the steal in the last possession? Draymond turned it over. Did you hear him talk about that play defensively?
I didn't.
I wish we had the video. Tag board's not working?
No, we're stuck on Miles Straw stats. Sorry.
Now you know how frustrating it is, right? Now on this side, right?
I sent it to both of them. I'll send it to you guys to watch.
Right.
I'll tweet it out. ESPN put it on Instagram this morning. The Warriors ran the same exact play that LeBron got the steal on in Game 4 of the 2018 Finals. That play, from like I said, I played D3 basketball, so I'm not saying, but it's a effing genius play. Steve, it's so difficult. You need the right play. You need a Draymond to be able to fake a handoff, whip it to the corner. You need a shooting guard like Clay who can catch and shoot on the fly, moving directly to the baseline.
I didn't hear him talk about it, but I know what you're talking about because he called the switch.
He
right?
called the switch.
Yep.
he remembered, and Clay missed the shot in the finals. The play, it works. He's got an open shot, but he missed it. It wasn't even a three. It wasn't a dagger. It was in like the second quarter of Game 3. A random irrelevant play. Steve Kerr had that play in his back pocket for 5 years waiting to pull it out again. And LeBron James being the basketball savant he did, and I wish we had I hate tag boards. So
he knows how it's in
now,
your heart.
Now I know
now
how
you
guys
know.
feel.
Best friend and my worst.
I know. For him to see that develop in real time. This is not like this is real time to call the switch with Anthony Davis, to see Draymond's face that LeBron was there with the switch to cut off the pass to Clay.
Yep.
So Draymond, I wish I was 1/100th as smart as good at anything in my life. Anything in my life. It might be tying my shoes, it might be getting out of bed, but like 1/100th as good at anything in my life as LeBron is basketball IQ wise. It is stupid.
There was a clip for this season where he was like in another team's huddle or watching the play or something, and they shielded him so he couldn't see. He goes, "It's all right, I'll figure it out anyway."